So Judd Trump versus Matt Selt for a place in the last 16 of Snooker's German Masters. The winner plays either Tepchara Nu or Jamie Clark. They're also this evening.
Frame. Judd Trump to break.
Judd Trump is a twice winner of the tournament, albeit one of them had to be played in Milton Keynes for reasons we all remember. But he's having such a good season. Of course, he won 3 ranking events in a row, and in consecutive tournaments, he actually beat Matt Selt, the English Open and the Wuhan Open. Selt only won 1 frame in those 2 matches. The overall head-to-head favours Trump 11-3. But Selt has beaten him in the UK Championship. They're good friends, these two. When Trump lived in Essex and practiced there, that's where Selt's from, of course. They were particularly close. So let's hope they put on a good show for this big, big crowd in this evening. You can already hear applause from other tables, in fact. Yeah, I was just saying, Neil, that the match that we did yesterday, Trump and Matthew Stevens, it wasn't flawless by any means, but he did in the end, I think, finish nicely.
Yeah, he played okay in both of his matches towards the end. You know, his first win was also where he slightly got worse as the match went on and then finished well. He's not playing absolutely at his best, I don't think, but he's still here in the event, so that's really all that counts. He's entrenched on the match table as well. It's not going to do him any harm. Yes, his win was against Lukas Kleckers, the German player who didn't really turn up on day 1.
Foul.
Yeah, I think 2 matches between these 2 players stick in my mind. That win in the UK Championship, undoubtedly where Matt Selt got the verdict over Judd, but also their last match in Wuhan, it was where obviously Judd had just travelled over from Brentwood, looked a bit weary the first match or 2, and then he played Matt Selt and played absolutely brilliantly to demolish him 5-0. Just when we thought maybe he was going to be flagging, it was the opposite. He warmed up into the tournament. It was over in no time.
Yeah, they've also, of course, played in a ranking final, the Turkish Masters 2 years ago, where Trump made the maximum in the final session, 110-4. But Selt is one of these sort of bullish characters that, even though the record isn't great against Trump, he doesn't lack for confidence. Well, that was a chance.
I tend to agree with you that he is capable of beating players on his day. He's not frightened to get involved in a scrap. You know, he has a word or 2 to say for himself out there.
Yeah, well, in the last event that he played in the World Grand Prix, he seemed to pot a black that then jumped out the pocket against Hussein Vafai and was not best pleased. Well, the red in bulk just complicating things a little bit. Just on the, we've been speaking about the bonus, the Bet Victor European Series bonus. The only 2 players who can stop Trump winning it this week are actually going to play each other tomorrow. Mark Allen and John Higgins. One of them needs to win the tournament to take it to the Welsh Open. But obviously one of them's going to get beaten tomorrow.
Slightly odd start to the match, really, with the way the balls are, and you can never quite tell what you're going to get with this game, but it's a strange beginning, not a dynamic start. The red in bulk has not helped either player to play safety shots to that end. Matt Selt played Mark Selby at the Crucible, and Selby won the match. Selt was getting more and more agitated as the match went on. He got warned a couple of times for some of the language under his breath, I think it was. Certainly the referee had a word with him because of what was being said out there. Didn't amount to any penalties, which is good to see, but I think the frustration was getting to him. As I say, we made the point he can get like that. the further into a match we get. But ultimately, he's a very good player.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sport that can produce frustration. I mean, this afternoon, Mark Allen won, but at one stage thumped the table after missing a pot.
I think that was an attempt at a plant, especially where the cue ball was played to. So had he knocked the red in the middle, he'd have been on the black. Otherwise, if it was a safety shot, he'd have found the bottom cushion. Oh, that was ever so close. Well, what are we? 6 minutes in. How many points on the border are in and off? No balls potted yet. He's got a little look at the tip on Judd's cue there, because he changed his tip during the course of that English Open final after the first session against Shangander. He was trailing, went further behind in that match, but came good, won the final, and then, as I say, went off to Wuhan, won that event as well. Turned out to be a good idea to get it changed at that moment. He had a golden spell of 3 ranking events in a row.
Yeah, and let's be honest, the easy thing, having won in Brentwood, would have been not to go to China. Not to put himself through all the travelling, but he did, and came back with the trophy. Then Belfast a week later, came back with that trophy. Since then, he's been in 2 more finals, Champion of Champions and World Grand Prix, of course, recently. 6 in total this season.
Well, I think even though there's still not much happened in this first frame, now that the red is now at this end of the table, it's more of a conventional state of affairs where, you know, you can potentially get a cue ball up into the bulk area if he can just move the red that's part way down the table, which I think he'll try and do here. There's no attempt at a pot, but just getting the red down, and this actually could be a good safety shot if he's got cover, crucially, as he left just a chance to get through to the red. Maybe he has. Cue ball's swinging out towards the reds if he pots this, or whether he misses it even. This time he has left the red to middle, and he has left the opening chance.
So the impasse broken after 9 minutes. Can Judd Trump get going? Of course, he made a century in the first frame of the week for him against Kleckers.
8. Nine.
When the season began, he was sort of cast out almost to, you know, table 2, even table 3 in one event. Luca Brissell, the world champion, obviously Ronnie were kind of favoured, but the success he's had,
11.
He's found his way back. Obviously Brissell's out, O'Sullivan pulled out, but Trump justifying the status out there, being on the main table with the season he's enjoyed.
12.
Back up to 2nd in the world rankings as well.
The red to the left of the blue is causing a problem. It's always nice
19.
to have the blue to play positional shots on.
Well, that lady was one of the Home Nations events, I remember, in the front row. Big Judd Trump fan with the tattoo.
20.
Well, didn't expect him to miss it.
20.
But it wasn't straightforward, as I say, with the red next to it. Goodness, that's not a good shot, is it? I'm sure he must have played on the pink to the top right pocket to get that on its spot, but he overhit it. It was a poor shot. Certainly didn't play on the yellow to that middle pocket. So he's done well to pot it in a way. Those shots are not that simple these days into the middle bags. They can be fairly tight from that angle.
Four.
Selt 30 in the world rankings, although it's worth saying I mentioned the Turkish Masters final 2 years ago. Of course, in a few weeks' time, those points will be coming off that he earned in that tournament on the 2-year rolling system. In terms of this season, got to the last 16 of the UK Championship and was a quarter-finalist at the English Open, where, of course, Trump beat him 5-1. Won quite a few matches, actually, first-round matches, which means you get a lot of points. He's already qualified for the Welsh Open.
11.
Well, you can get through to the potting angle up the table into the top left on that red to the left of the bunch. The other red, he's looking at into the opposite top pocket. I don't think he can leave anything playing this one. Good shot.
12.
Once again, the problem is getting onto a red from here. Probably a shot which deserved a slightly better fate than what he got. Open the reds,
19.
but they're all in each other's way again. It's been a little bit of an odd first frame so far. Balls haven't quite run for either player. So just a safety shot to end the break.
Matthew Selt, 19.
It's worked out okay. I think he hit the red on the thick side through the cue board at an extremely wide angle to get around him behind the yellow. Don't know if he played it just exactly like that. Is he going to try and play the little glance? Maybe trying to hit the top red here, the one up the table by the blue spot. Hard to get any thin edge of that one. But either way, it's gone safe. Or fairly safe. Oh, that's a good shot. I must admit, I did think that he would be reluctant to go for that, but it was very well played.
Rumble.
And that was not very good.
Matthew
Has he
Selt,
got
1.
away with this? It's somewhat odd beginning, isn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, he's got quite lucky there. He's left a very thin shot at the red he's closest to.
I think we've already seen as well, for Matt Selt, he lives every shot, doesn't he? He lives every moment. It's almost like every shot he plays is the biggest shot he's played, and that's why at some point he does sort of lose it a bit, or can do. But kind of got away with that, really. Only in the first frame. It feels tense already, doesn't it?
Well, neither player has settled into their natural game yet. I think that's something we can say. Well, this is a slow start. I can tell you on the adjoining table, on one of them, as we see that's landed in behind the green, Jamie Clark looked absolutely certain to win the first frame against Tepchara. He potted the second last red and was right behind the black. All he needed And he's missed the simplest of blacks. And Tepchaya took last red and all the colours to steal it, but the miss on the black was unbelievable. That's live on Discovery Plus. It's one of the matches you can tune into.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a club player and you sort of play with your mates on a Monday night and you missed that black, you'd be absolutely devastated. It really was unmissable, and yet he missed it somehow. Amazing, really.
Well, it's been a bit of a false start, but this is another opportunity for Selt, this red to middle. If he pots it, screws back for the black, then he's got a real chance of getting the frame one. Nice shot.
One.
But like so many before, slightly hampered queuing on the black. Goodness me.
Selt 1.
That's a significant miss, I think, even though we haven't really got going yet.
One.
So this is the temperature on this evening's 6 tables. Let's see how close the audience are. There's Graham Dott, Tepchaya there as well, and Carter on table 2. So in fact, this table, which is the main one, is actually, as you can see, furthest away from the audience. There are screens, of course, as well. They can follow it on. There's all the scores as well.
Yeah, it's probably quite a surreal experience playing on the main table here. Saw that lady who's well, pretty obviously a Judd Trump supporter with a Trump tattoo, and I mean, she will be watching from very much the sidelines. She'll be delighted that he's now in a position where he can press on in this frame, as she is.
Yeah, she obviously
16.
thought a T-shirt wasn't enough. Went the full hog with the tattoo.
17. Twenty. 21.
So it's a frame of what might have been, certainly, from that Selt, but if this red and black goes in, he'll want Snookers. He'll need Snookers to stay in the frame.
28.
So a little bit of sanity already. Slightly mixed up opening frame. And no heroics there. The lead is 39 points, 1 snooker to tie.
36.
But he could be in a snooker of his own. Not quite. He'll certainly want to play on 36. Because the table is conducive to getting a snooker, the brown and pink being so close together. Quite a nice target.
Cue just ran on there, wasn't quite a snooker. What we saw in the previous round was another Matthew Stevens, just couldn't quite convert chances from Trump's mistakes, or not enough of them anyway. And he made a few in this frame, but again, Matt Selt couldn't take advantage, ended up missing that black as we saw to the left corner. Now he needs, well, one snooker to tie. That's successfully laid, obviously.
They're the kind of situations where you almost certainly would get a snooker, just trying to use the other balls as cover. Such a wide area to do it, but it's Selt who needs a snooker, not Trump. To say there's no obvious sign that Matt Selt's got any touch yet, because a lot of the shots he's played have been quite a long way out on position or cue ball control.
Oh dear.
Oh.
The task has become much harder. He's not conceded, but
Judd Trump 4.
now he's 43 behind 35 on. Lost control, really, of the exchange as well. So his hopes of winning this frame receding. Good grief, that was thin. Very nearly dropped.
I don't know how it stayed out in the end. It looks like it's teetering on the edge, doesn't it? As you say, I mean, I didn't consider it as a pot, but at this point, I think it's going to drop in. It's got to take a high-value colour anyway with it.
Well,
not much has gone right for Matt Selt in this frame, I've got to be honest. This would be a good shot to just keep some glimmer of hope alive in the frame. Good shot.
Yeah, obviously, ideally would have liked to keep the red on, chance of the free ball on the red, but that's been taken away. That's why, I guess, why Trump played the shot he did.
7.
So it's 3 snookers needed now.
Nine.
I mean, where the black is, it'd be a pretty nasty snooker if you could land the cue ball in behind there, which is what he's trying.
Matthew Selt 9. 3.
Well, 31 is the difference here. I mean, he could have potentially potted the brown, and he would need 2 snookers then, 5-point penalties, but not so.
Matthew Selt 3.
And meanwhile, the defending champion, Ali Carter's already 2-0 up against Pang Junxu, who got a sort of growing reputation. But Carter, happy memories of the Tempodrome. He's won it twice here, of course, 10 years apart. He's having a good season in general. Selt's just not quite getting these snookers, is he? And that brown has carried on running, so it is cuttable. And it is in. 31-minute frame, the cue ball just holding on.
Yeah, I think Selt will be ready to set these up and pretend the first frame never happened, I should think.
Yeah.
Judd Trump 4.
He did have chances, but
frame.
It is Judd Trump who has taken the frame.
18 now.
One 0 then. Remember, it's first to 5 to advance to the last 16 here in Berlin. So we're underway for another evening here at the Tempodrome, where Judd Trump leads Matt Selt 1-0. Just waiting for Selt to return. It's quite a lengthy frame. Here he comes, 31 minutes. In fact, it's not him, it's someone else. 31 minutes it was, and he did have chances. Oh, here it is Matt Selt, actually.
I will tell you.
We are ready, I think, to get underway.
Thank you, second frame. Matthew Selt to break.
Well, we saw this morning Karen Wilson lost a very long frame to Ben Wollaston and came out the next frame and was a changed man, attacked, played brilliantly actually after that. So can Matt Selt just get over, even just, like you say, forget that even happened and just change things? We'll find out in due course.
Yes, he may have thought he had a ball roll off in the first frame, that black that he missed. I don't think he did roll off, but at the end of the frame he was quite keen on sort of, I don't know whether Michael Kessler was all that pleased about it. Not really supposed to do that, I don't think, not in the middle of a match. Just trying to see if the ball rolled off. I suspect he just missed it because he hit it wrongly.
Just on the other score, Sam Craigie and He Kyu Kwong, because he beat Mark Williams. They're 1 each. Graham Dott's 1-0 up on Juicer. Zach Surety's 1-0 up on Elliot Slesser, who of course had the walkover. Hussein Vafai wasn't able to make it. Ali Carter 2-0 up on Pang Junxu, and Tepcharan Nu 2-0 up on Jamie Clark.
Once again, the cue ball just running further than Judd Trump wanted, but he has still got the yellow. Wanted it to stop short of that, beyond the brown, I think. As you can see from that angle, it isn't the easiest of shots, but the beautiful pot. The cue ball just seemed to run and run on this fast bedcloth. I know that during the Masters we saw those 2 maximum breaks, which brought some footage back of the Kirk Stevens maximum, which is just over 40 years ago now, against Jimmy White. played a shot from green to brown, and he seemed to hit it really hard. It pulled up short and got perfectly on the brown as played. But it made me think that the cloths were a lot slower then than they are now, because they seem to run and run. Whereas he had to really hit it to take it around the angles that day, did Kirk. It's even noticeable just watching it back. How different the cloths played. I don't know what's best. I mean, when the tables are too slow, the players can hit them with more force and things can go wrong. But sometimes they're almost too quick nowadays. The balls just don't stop.
I think this underlines the genius of Ronnie O'Sullivan. He can adapt, can't he, to seemingly any sort of table pretty quickly. He's not here this week. Now Selt with an opening here. But not to be.
Has he left anything? The red to the middle, perhaps. I'm sure that will go. Yeah, he's not made a good start at all, has he? And he has had chances. Not as if Trump has started well himself.
One. Six.
I don't know what that noise off was. It didn't sound very healthy.
It sounded like somebody snapped their cue, actually. I'd like to think they haven't.
Let's hope not. A bit early in the night for that.
This may not look so difficult on your screen, but I tell you, the red is not over the pocket. This is a tough plant. It's just such a terrific shot. Honestly, it was so well played. The natural instinct is go for the potting angle on those. Of course, if you do, then you're going to miss the plant by a long way. I know he hasn't played very well yet tonight, but this is where he is so good. Keeping breaks going with individual pots. He's been terrific at that for the last probably decade.
13.
And he's now beginning to just warm up a bit after that first frame. Well, maybe I put the curse on him, but that is the only place where you can not be on a ball.
18.
Hard to finish there if you tried.
But this is where Trump, of course, he's very annoyed about that, but you won't see any real reaction. And that's kind of ideally how you have to be. Just accept that, okay, it's a mistake, it's gone wrong. Try and think about the...
Two reds there. I mean, there's no point in getting annoyed when you play a bad shot, but it's not easy to live up to that, quite honestly.
No, I mean, I mentioned sort of club snooker. You see in any snooker club, people losing their rag all the time, and that they're not playing for, you know, thousands and thousands of pounds. It's just how people are. That wasn't the best shot from Selt. Cue ball nowhere near the baulk line.
It's not a good sign, Judd missing those. Said he was warming up, but might have to take that back because Judd Trump at his best. It was devouring those sort of shots.
One.
Can Selt just pot a few here, just get himself going. High break, just 19 in the first frame. If you can just get a bit of table time, just settle in. Still, of course, plenty of time this evening to play well.
Eight.
This is around the black spot, a half-decent chance as well. Although he's enraged by something, maybe he got a kick or I don't know what happened. All I know is he's not nicely on the black already. Threw his arms up in the air. Well, he's done well, he's recovered it well. I can't imagine how he would have felt had he missed the black.
16. Seventeen. 24. 25.
Seems to be a lot of head movement at the moment with Matt Selt, which I hadn't really noticed before, but see him on this shot if he's any better. Well, maybe not as bad on that shot, but because Mark Selby moves quite a lot, but if you see this shot there's a lot of movement there at the last second. Of course, you're always told to keep your head still, but sometimes easier said than done.
Well, he said there the white's a ping pong ball. So he felt it sort of flew. He's still on one though. That's the thing. He's still going here.
Well, it should be a snooker ball, not a ping pong ball. But I know what he's saying. He's saying it's light, isn't it? And you do occasionally get them that are not as heavy as the rest of them. I don't know why it happens, but it can. You tend to screw back a lot too far on shots. I think he's probably exaggerating it a little bit. Anyway, this is better
36.
from Matt Selt.
Thirty-seven.
Well, despite a couple of little chunters along the way, he's still
44.
going here. Yeah, I mean, a couple of bruising defeats, let's be honest, to Trump. 5-0, 5-1, the last two meetings. But Trump, so far tonight, not quite, well, actually not close to that form.
Had a full ball kiss on the pink there to be perfectly placed on the blue. Just one meaningful positional shot away, I think, from getting this frame one from the bolt colour to probably over on the left side of the table is where he'd like to be, where he's got a choice of reds. That's nicely played. That's the nicest positional shot he's struck so far.
48.
May not have looked much, but it was well judged.
Well,
Judd got in first, but when he played the blue and tried to nudge the reds, caught the pink full on, snookered himself, he gave away the advantage. Then he missed that mid-range red, which surprised us all. And Selt now has finally got into the game.
56. $57.
Just wants this blue and another red. So here we are, arriving at
62.
the point where the next ball means Trump will need snookers. Once again,
63.
actually racing across the cloth. Both players have got a little bit of thinking to do, but all of a sudden Judd less comfortable.
Yeah, he's not happy about that. He could have done with the points. He's still favourite to win the frame, but you can see it's not done yet. And it would have been had this gone in because he was on the red.
One.
So Trump needs 2 snookers here.
Yeah, I mean, he might have wanted to leave that red on the table there, but maybe it was just more
8.
trouble than what it was worth trying to play the snooker when the pot was so simple. But as you say, 2 snookers. Chance to get
10.
one here behind the brown, pushing the green up the table.
Judd Trump, 10.
I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Selt asked referee Mikey Kessler if he could get the cue ball changed at the end of this frame, because I think a few of the balls have reacted a little differently to what he expected.
He's managed to cut that green in, so surely it will be Selt's frame. A lot of sort of hoopla on other tables. This has been hard fought on this one, but he made a good 63 in this frame. Well, pink nearly went in.
Matthew Selt, 3. And the frame.
Trump might have played on in that case, but it didn't. And Matt Selt might not look happy, but he has won the frame, and we're all square here in Berlin at 1 each. It's night 3 of the German Masters here in Berlin. At the end of that second frame, which Matt Selt won, he put his towel on his face, and Marcel Eckhart, one of the referees, the spare referee this evening, come over to him. They've now left, so it seems he's not well. I think that seems to be the case, which is sad to see. He didn't look happy, did he? And he had that towel on his face. Marcel came over to him, and now they've left the arena, maybe to an aspirin or something, whatever it will be, backstage to help him. But at the moment, we're just waiting for him to return, and hopefully, I mean, of course, last night we saw Marco Fu. He had to retire, didn't he? He was 3-1 down to Alfie Davis. He had double vision, and sadly, the match had to stop.
Very unfortunate, wasn't it? Because he's had a lot of setbacks, hasn't he? He had eye problems before. And, of course, during the pandemic, he couldn't come over from Hong Kong. Obviously, very separate issues, but he's had a few reasons why he's dropped down the rankings, I think.
Well, that's table 2. Ali Carter 2-1 over Pang, but Matt has come back. Hopefully, all will be well here. It's been, as they say, sort of a lot of it about it in the winter, hasn't there? I mean, we were in York at the UK Championship, and everyone seemed to be ill. Even Rob Walker at one stage was in doubt whether he could continue, and if he gets ill, then you know you've got problems. But a lot of the commentators, you know, were very ill, and people backstage. Anyway, let's hope Matt is feeling okay for the rest of the night.
Well played. Well played. Hitting the thin edge of the red as planned. Yeah, he's definitely struggling, isn't he? That's my sympathies, because to feel unwell at any time, of course, is not nice, but to have to go out and play a snooker match or play any sport, it's not nice. Well, I'll tell you what was evident in Judd's previous matches, that his long game was not there. Hang on, just going to drop in. You know, he went most of that match without putting a long ball. I think the first, getting on for 10, he missed. A couple that might not have been chalked up as misses, but he eventually potted a couple. Finished the match well, but if Judd's long game is not there, then that's a big part of his armoury that's missing. And tonight he hasn't really fared any better at long range. Not yet.
1.
Yeah, I mean, it's early days in this match, obviously, and his opponent's not feeling good, but we do see, and we saw a little bit last season, Mark Allen players sometimes have a purple patch in a season and then maybe dip a little bit. And of course, Trump did have that glorious period before Christmas. I mean, he's just been in a final as well, the World Grand Prix, so I'm not saying it's over yet, but it's hard to sustain that level all the time.
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say about long pots is that I can't think of too many players who are playing poorly but potting good long balls.
6.
You know, usually it is the first part of your game to suffer at long range.
Seven.
Absolutely dead straight on this blue. We've seen quite a lot of that in the last 3 days here. He's not quite getting the correct side and making the next positional shot so easy. You're very limited in what you can achieve from where he's currently placed.
Matthew Selt, 12.
I'm not sure it's going to make him feel any better the way he hit that one, but it's hard to watch him at the moment, you know, around the table. Not so much how he's playing or anything, because Judd's not playing a lot better, but it's hard to see someone who's clearly not well out there.
Judd Trump, 1.
Yeah, we don't know exactly the problem, but of course there are things you can take. There's also things you can't take, because there is a list of sort of substances that you have to go through. But Marcel Eckhart, the referee, sort of went out with him, so obviously the officials would know what the deal was anyway. He's not the sort, I don't think. I mean, I'm sure he will stick it out here, even if he's not feeling great, because that's what he's like. But clearly, in such a big match, it's by no means an ideal situation.
He's looked at 2 or 3 different routes down towards the reds. Problem is, I always think on these shots, when you're playing directly into the baulk cushion, your eye line, you can't even see the target. It's not in your calculations. You've got to kind of memorize what you're trying to hit, and then you have to look away to try and make the judgment. So he's not playing completely away this time. He thought about it. It's not the way he wanted to go into them, I can tell you that. Came too wide an angle into the reds there.
One.
Well, Trump's ice break so far, just 36, but this is a decent chance, you would say, to get going. He's been in 3 finals at the Tempodrome, or in the tournament, I should say. One of them, of course, was in the lockdown in Milton Keynes. It actually said a lot about him, I think.
9.
He won so many events in that period because it wasn't the happiest environment, let's be honest. Everyone was happy that the tournaments were continuing, but there was nothing happening around the venue at all other than the matches, but he just got on with it and kept on winning various trophies.
I don't tell him he's gone too far on it, because that's a very poor shot if he has, because it was quite a regulation bounce off the cushion up to the red off it. Lucky was right behind, so that's a pretty bad mistake from Judd, I have to say. Very elementary positional shot. Well, that is second prize. Any possible snooker.
Good run. 16.
Going to see this shot again. It's a very elementary positional shot that he played there.
This example, though, what I was saying, you know, I mean, he had every right to be annoyed with himself, but he just thought about the next shot, and he's played a good one.
Well, the last time he played an escape, the cue ball threw a lot wider than he expected. And this is not a dissimilar sort of angle he's coming into the reds at. It's a better line, but may have lifted it up the table if that red slips past the green. I think it goes. As you saw, it went comfortably because the red wasn't actually that close to the green as it passed it.
Seven. Eight. Fifteen. Sixteen. Twenty-three. 24.
Yes, he can flounder the red into the same pocket here. He would like to have been a bit straighter on it because he didn't really want to go into the couple of reds to the right of the red he's knocking in, but I think he has no choice but to do so now.
13.
Both
31.
players struggling with their control of the cue ball in this match so far. That is a better shot. Yes, there was nothing in the way of bolt colours in the way,
36.
but he still, I thought, played it quite nicely. Right across the yellow spot.
37.
So 48 the lead with the pink, another red and a pink should suffice. He's needed a few openings in this match, in this frame, but looks like he's getting himself together.
43. 44. 50.
Yeah, obviously that picture tells its own story. Matt not feeling good.
51.
That's just enough on for a century. He's been collecting them this season, 60 already.
$58. 59.
So he might be forced to be playing the red along the cushion with his right hand. That would be his ideal way of playing this.
66.
Oh, that's a pity.
Yeah, no
Judd Trump,
century,
66.
but 66
frame.
enough to win the frame. And again, there were sort of chances on both sides. Been generally a bit of a struggle all round, but Judd Trump is back in front here, 2-1, and he's 3 frames away from a place in the last 16 of this German Masters. So Judd Trump's made a 66 break in frame 3, leads Matt Selt 2-1. One more frame to come before
Matthew
the
Selt's
mid-session
break.
interval here in Berlin. Oh dear. Things going from bad to worse, really.
I mean, that is one of the most annoying things that can happen actually in snooker, to hit the blue off the break. We've all done it. Whatever you do, don't hit the blue. Puts the blue safe. Often leaves your opponent a chance.
1.
It happens to us all. It's the most played shot in snooker, but the break has never quite been perfected for all that long.
Yeah, and the worst thing is really Trump sort of found his game in that last frame, didn't he? Put together a nice break in the end. He needed a few chances to do it. And the danger now is that he's sort of settled in. Immediate chance here.
9.
Just briefly, what's happening on the other tables. Graham Dock going really well. 3-0 up against Zhu of China, who's only actually scored 13 points in those 3 frames, although he is in front in the 4th.
16.
Zach Surety is 3-0 up on Elliot Slesser. Next frame in the balance.
17.
Sam Craigie has gone to the interval 3-1 up on her Qiu Kwang with breaks of 81, 96 and 84. So Craigie looking really good there. And Ali Carter 2-1 on Pang Zhengzhu. Tepchara Nu 3-1 up on Jamie Clark, who has won the 3rd frame.
24.
Should have won the 1st. He missed a real sitter of a black, it's got to be said.
25.
Well, you feel he's got to try and play a cannon of some description here. In fact, he's waiting 1. He's playing the red to middle, but just delaying it slightly before he tries to get these reds opened up a little
32.
bit. Red to middle. Probably the last option he's got. Now he's pushed that red into the bone, so top spin on this, and he can generate so much cue speed that he can make the cue ball hit the reds at real pace on this shot. But not enough to actually stop it being glued to the reds. So this break ends somewhat prematurely as well.
Judd Trump, 40.
Piers Jussel won that fourth frame against Graham Dott. They just went off to the interval in the background there. A lot happening, of course, at this Tempodrome.
Well, said his long game wasn't up to his usual high standard, but that was a very good pot. And the cue ball, he got that to come back the other side of the high value colours as well. It was a lovely shot. Good striking.
Eight. Nine. Eleven.
So Judd Trump closing in on a 3-1 lead. Matt Selt, of course, he did make that 63 break in frame 2, but the body language hasn't been good otherwise. He hasn't looked good in himself.
Nineteen.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. The cue ball was certainly not meant to go anywhere near the pink. Played in behind the pink, I think, to the right corner. So the little nudge he got on the pink worked well, but it was completely accidental, not as played. Red any colour. And he'd have won 3 of the first 4 frames without ever playing anywhere near his best.
Six.
If he were to come through this match, he could well play Tepchar and New. He's 3-1 up against Jamie Clark. That would be quite an exciting occasion.
Yeah, I mean, Judd would be a good favourite if they were to meet, and neither have won yet. But on this week's form, what I've seen,
33.
Tepchar has looked really good, so that will be a tough game for Judd.
He beat him nearly. China beat him last season in Scotland. I think it was on the black, 5-4.
That's right. Yeah, I remember the match. Pretty dramatic end.
It was one of those where you didn't want to be. It was Michael McMullen, our friend, who had to do it. You didn't want to be the interviewer. You had to go up and interview, in this case, Judd, who was on the wrong side of it, because you're never going to get much out of him.
41.
Anyway, he'll be feeling better this evening so far. It's not been flawless, but he's going to be 3-1 up.
Well, he's taken this frame
48.
very quickly. He's not been playing anywhere near 10 minutes. Not forgetting the first frame was over half
49.
an hour. This frame is over very quickly. Selt certainly needs his 15 or so minutes, I think, just to regroup. Hopefully he'll start to feel a little bit more 55. Like he wants to be out there, because he's seemingly under the weather.
56.
He could do with his break.
Yeah, and the thing is, particularly on the main table, you're under hot lights as well. You know, it can be a bit uncomfortable if you're already not feeling good.
61.
Trump can't quite make a century,
63.
which means he may just play the odd eye-catching one here. Here we go. Well, he sort of finished on the yellow despite catching it.
72. 75.
It was this tournament, wasn't it, in Milton Keynes? He played that green, and people remember it against Barry Hawkins.
79.
White just stopped dead.
Very different game, isn't it, like this, when the pressure comes off. Players just swing at balls, they tend to all go in, but it's not really a reflection of how he was playing earlier on.
90.
But he has picked up in time, and the crowd are enjoying it now.
Well, that black just flew in the yellow pocket like a bullet. And the crowd enjoyed that little clearance. So Judd Trump, with that 97, firmly in control of this match. At the interval, he's just 2 away from a place in the last 16 here at the Tempodrome. 3-1, Trump leads, and he's a big...
Thank you, frame 5. Judd Trump to break.
So Judd Trump finished off with a pretty dashing 97 there in frame 4. He leads Matt Selt 3-1. It's clear Selt's not been well overall. Let's see if the interval has made any difference. It's not going to make him suddenly feel great, but he has had a chance to get out of that arena. As I say, it can be quite uncomfortable under those lights.
I mean, it's a very good pot, but he couldn't have got a more unfavourable kiss on the black if he tried. He's snookered on everything now. It's not deserving of a good pot like that, the result.
Sorry?
Green.
Green ball.
Some query as to which ball he was nominating, and he nominated green. I don't think
Left yourself
Michael
1.
Kessler quite heard correctly.
Selt does like the odd word here and there, and I suppose everyone's different. Some opponents don't like that. I mean, I always think at the Crucible, when they have to sit next to each other, it can be quite uncomfortable, because sometimes one player wants to sort of say things and maybe the other doesn't. It's they're very close, Neil, aren't they? I mean, obviously you've played there many times. It's you don't get that at any other event.
No, you don't. I was never one that particularly wanted to speak to my opponent, but you sometimes have to. That's a plant in which he certainly played. I mean, he had a look at it, and it was certainly as planned, that shot. I played Anthony Davis at the Crucible once. I was sitting next to him, and of course his son Alfie has been playing in this event, but after a couple of the frames he called me, and I thought, well, what could he possibly want to speak about? And there was a spider by the side of his table, and he asked me could I help him because he's terrified of spiders. Anyway, I don't know what Matt Selt chunted there.
Selt won.
I don't know if did that bounce out? He had a bounce out the other week in let's have a look at this. I don't know. Well, I think it did.
Yeah, I mean, he did hit it hard. It's whether it sort of bounced in, I suppose, and then bounced out. Just to clarify, when you say there was a spider, you don't mean the bridge rest?
No, don't mean that. No, there was a small spider on the table, and he asked me if I could help him. Of course, I did help him, but I didn't expect a conversation of that kind in the middle of a match at the Crucible. Let's have another look at this. I think it has bounced out, and that's the second time I've seen it happen. In the middle pockets, it can happen. It shouldn't happen in the corner pockets as it did in that recent event in Leicester, when he's enraged about it. He was throwing balls in that corner and everything afterwards. Quite a crucial stage of that match. I don't know how, you know, things aren't going well, are they? There's a lot of things happening out there. He's not feeling well. He's getting things happen. He's starting to make a few comments. It's just one of those nights, isn't it?
That could have been worse. I mean, he has left a pot on, but he could have left him right in amongst them. But he has left a chance here. This is the thing that, again, from Trump's perspective, your opponent, there's things going on with your opponent. You need to try and block that out. It's not easy with all that sort of drama going on as well. Just focus on what you're doing.
The balls aren't exactly running favourably for either player, are they? It's one of those evenings, and whoever wins it will say, OK, let's have a good night's sleep and go again tomorrow.
Judd Trump won.
Has he got away with that? I think he has. It was a safety shot that was miles away from what he meant to happen. Might be able to get to that bottom red. Even then, it deserved to be an easier chance than this left. Over at the top of the ball, a thin cut. Well, he kind of did get away with it because that was a wretched shot to have to play from a mistake of the kind that Judd made.
One.
Yeah, I mean, he's caught it much thicker than he meant to, and he just left that horrid little shot. But the upshot of it all is Judd's in
8.
again. More by sort of luck than judgment on the 2 shots previous.
9. Sixteen. Yep.
I think we've seen enough of the match to feel that Trump should win it now, regardless of mistakes he's made or ill fortune or whatever. Certainly looking the happier of the two, the stronger of the two. And this is the thing, and Neil Robertson was kind of saying this yesterday about Ronnie O'Sullivan. He said even if he hasn't played
17.
his flawless best in all those tournaments he won, someone's got to beat him. Someone's got to actually step up and beat these top players. Of course, Trump tried to do that in the World Grand Prix final, but it applies to him here. Someone has got to come forward and knock him out of this tournament.
Yeah, and the other thing about that, Dave, is that he might be struggling now, but you know, if you do start to play better against someone like Judd Trump, then he's likely to
24.
raise his own game, and that's the problem you face. Obviously, O'Sullivan is the same. At the moment, without
25.
going on about Ronnie, because he's not here this week, but no one seems to be able to beat him at all. He's not lost for a long while now. And I think in not playing in every event, it's a great disappointment to the Berlin crowds, but I think he's just preserving that run of form by not playing in everything. Some suggestion he won't play in the Welsh, although that's not confirmed yet. He might return for other events later on.
32. Thirty-three. $39. $40.
I think Trump has kept his focus well. He's not got involved in anything other than what he's doing. And pressure sort of lifted as his own errors earlier on weren't punished. So just looking to plough on now to a 4-1 lead.
46.
Yeah, I think the 4 reds in the middle of the table are of interest to him. They're not easy to pot any. The top 2 into the right corner might be a plant, but the angle he's got kind of makes me think he could go into them as well. He's playing to the left of the 4 reds, perhaps. Well, he's broke them up beautifully. And it looks like another frame, because
53.
red, pink, and red, and it will be.
54.
Yeah, and I suspect this time we won't see exhibition shots because he can make a century now, which he's always on his mind if it's on. Made 961 in his career, Trump. He's only 6 behind John Higgins, who just missed out on one actually in the last frame of his match against Zhou Yulong, because he's still in the tournament, John Higgins. We should mention actually, nice bit of sportsmanship from John, because Zhou Yulong at the start of the match didn't have his chalk on him.
68.
But John actually gave him a piece of his. Things have happened in the past, more controversial than that, shall we say, but not on this occasion.
69.
And Higgins got the win in any case.
$76. $77.
been a swift break as well.
84.
I mean, it's only since a minute ago that he played that poor safety shot, which resulted in him getting in a roundabout way because of the Selt miss that was difficult. Just over 5 minutes to break, 5.5 minutes, so it's been fairly rapid.
.91. Thank you. 93. .96.
So this Brown for century number 61 this season for Judd Trump. By far and away top of the centuries list as he aims to get to 100 and indeed possibly even break Bill Robertson's record of 103 for a single season. And just illustrating the extent to which he's now taken a full grip on this match.
111.
Clearance of 118 from Judd Trump, who now is just one away from victory. Put together in the end a couple of good frames there, and Trump looking good for a place in the last 16 here. Gu Kwang.
Thank you.
So Judd Trump's made 118. Clearance in frame 5. He's one away now from a place in the last 16 of the German Masters. He leads Matt Selt 4-1.
Well, at least Selt didn't hit the blue off the break that time as he did in an earlier frame, but he's actually done well there. That's the sort of break, if you could bottle it up and take it with you everywhere, you'd be pleased. Got Judd in a little bit of trouble. I suspect he'll be able to run into the bunch to safety, but he's still got to do it. Playing 2 cushions into them. He played a shot there, but not much moved. Of course, in the snooker shootout, which is one of the events on the calendar, 4-day event, short format, it's got to be a pot made or a ball hit a cushion. Those last couple of shots would have been a foul, but we're not playing the shootout this week.
Yeah, the applause you heard was for Tepchara Nu, who's beaten Jamie Clark for 5-1, so he'll play the winner of this match, quite likely to be Trump. That's a pretty tasty one for the last 16. Yeah, I mean, the other match we mentioned earlier on, the match which Tepchara won on the last black. But the other match, of course, is the World Championship, wasn't it? When Judd won it, he was behind 6-3 against Tepchara in round 1. And ended up winning 10-9. History might have been very different. A shot or two have gone in a different direction in that match, because he started to play brilliantly towards the end of that championship, but not so much at the start. Caught that a little thick, that last shot. Hence the cue ball is where it is. But what's Matt Selt sort of got left now in the tank?
Well, and it's a bit like the previous shot, Dave. I mean, it was a big misjudgment from Judd, but I don't know how he's done it, but he's left nothing. Nothing easy, anyway. That red to the left of the blue, I don't know if it just creeps past into that left corner, but it's a tight one. Well, he was very lucky there, Judd. It's not been a great night for Matt Selt. Not feeling well. He's not had much of a run of the ball, and he hasn't played well either. It's unbelievable, Dave, isn't it? There's another quite a bad safety mistake, which has left him a difficult opening red. Judd's getting away with quite a few here. He's playing better, and there's no fluke about the scoreline, but he's getting a run, and Matt Selt is fully aware of that, as you can hear from those chunterings.
One.
Well, it's a good pot. He's going to need another one here to continue. Kind of been shut out a little bit, hasn't he? Only scored 2 points in the last 2 frames.
This blue that he's going to line up is the kind of shot you could miss under the sort of circumstances of the evening. Very well done. Nice shot. Now, when respotted, though, it's going to cover him on the red. So, never rains, but it pours.
6.
Yeah, he's chucking down at the minute, isn't it? Let's be honest for Matt. Absolutely pouring.
Seven.
He's just about on this. Again, it looked like he was going to be buried in the reds there. But he's got a shot at the pink, albeit I'm not sure he can get sensible striking. Maybe just. He's all right. He's all right, just.
Yeah, he was getting ready there for a big old scream up, but actually he has landed on the red.
Well, he was, Dave. I couldn't have put it any better. I don't know if the black will go.
Yes.
But he's going to need, I don't know how he's going to get all kinds of long equipment for this. Yeah, the black will go. That's certainly the good news. Nicely done. So he's found himself in a position of some strength now because he's finally got position.
One. $22.
Well, it's not too late, is it, for something to happen here? If he could put this frame away, you just never know in this game. At the moment, Trump seems a heavy favourite.
$27.
It's been a pretty good break, hasn't it, with 3 or 4 quite difficult shots at the beginning of it. Finally,
28.
got things under control.
$35. $36.
Frame he won, frame 2. He did make a 63. Nothing really other than that tonight in terms of scoring from Selt. Just watching Elliot Slesher in the background. They're not happy about something, giving it the woe is me stuff.
43. $44.
I mean, is there a way back into the match for him? Because all of a sudden he looks to be playing better, feeling better. I mean, outwardly, of course, we don't know if he's still feeling under the weather or not, but he seems to be more in control of that now.
49. 50.
Swing the cue ball round here. It wasn't a very good shot on the red to finish this angle on the black. He's all right, though. Doing his own commentary.
He's a bit of a character, isn't he? We did the, you may have seen in the past on Eurosport, the Tour Mates feature, and asking, you know, who's the funniest player on tour and all that, and he came up quite a lot in that. But obviously, when he's out in the arena, it really matters to him. You can see that. As I said earlier, he sort of lives every shot. If it's not going right, he'll let you know. But it is going right for now, despite a few issues earlier on in the frame. He's not far from putting it away here. Just reminding everyone there's still a match on. Out of nowhere, there's actually a big break on here. There's still 75 on the table.
66.
Of course, the high break 142. We did have a chance of a maximum this morning. Karen Wilson got to 96, Mr. Red to right middle when they're actually lying really nicely.
Well, that's right, because you might think, well, he didn't get that close with the 3 reds left, but like you say, it looked like he was well, pretty much going to do it until he surprisingly missed. Brought that red into play. Is he trying to cut this in? It looks ever so thin. Goodness. Really? It looks incredibly thin from there. Playing a different red.
You don't want to be sort of risking in offs and things, do you? You know, it's 2 snookers needed at the minute.
I'd almost like to see him play it now, because it looks as if it's almost too thin. But we might be about to find out. He's in the best. Oh no, he's playing it into the end pocket, I think. Superb. Very, very good.
Well, it seems the sun's come out for Matt Selt after all in this frame. After a rather trying start.
Seven to 9.
That's not in, but 79 is enough to take the frame and extend the match. Judd Trump nods his head. And we're going into frame 7.
Thank you.
To Judd Trump. It was 4-1. Matt Selt made a nice 79 there.
Judd Trump to break.
To take us into a 7th frame of a possible 9. Our only winner so far tonight, Tepcharan Nu, who plays the winner of this match. Well, suddenly, he looks like a changed man.
Excellent pot, wasn't it? And yeah, cue ball knocked on into the bulk area. Could be away again here. It's a really well played long pot, this. Well, I thought something terrible had happened, but it looks like he's perhaps on the red, is he? He didn't mean to hit the brown ball. Yeah, he's okay. It wasn't as bad as he first thought. He may be thinking that he was going to screw it off in the middle.
He went early, I think, didn't he, there? I think he thought he'd gone in off, but no.
Five.
Well, the most sarcastic ever thumbs up this coming up. Incredible, really. The pink's gone in, but then the thumbs up. Thanks a lot, everybody. Cheers.
Well, I'm going to say that I don't think he played it very well. He may not want to hear that, but he didn't mean to hit the pink half ball. Probably a bit unlucky to going off, but he didn't execute the shot as well as he might have done.
One. Four. Five.
Played with right hand running side on that.
Twelve.
We've had another winner this evening.
13.
Sam Craigie has beaten He Kyu-kwang 5-1 with 5 half centuries.
That isn't bad. That could have been a lot worse. It was a good split, really. Cue ball did sort of veer off a bit, but he didn't lose the cue ball to the side cushion. And the red has kind of followed the cue ball. So But he played it well. He might have got a fraction fortunate.
.21.
So Trump in for the kill.
26.
And to be focused, I'm sure, having just seen Selt put together that good 79.
27.
He knows he won't be handed this match. Sort of petering out at one point at 4-1, or so it seemed, but not after the last frame. Could be over now, though.
Yeah, he played that very well into an area where he was sure to be on something, I feel. And as you see, he's got a choice of reds. Just try to hit that sort of middle red of the three.
33.
Hit the target bang on. And now this really is a point where Matt Selt might have played his last shot. Of course, we don't know. It's been a funny night to be making too many predictions, but it does feel that way because the balls are set up for him. Goodness, he's already got a good lead. Selt was played better towards the end of the match, which is something.
41.
Whether they'll see it that way. Started the evening not looking like he was feeling all that great out there. Maybe under the weather, but anyway, Trump
48.
who knocked in that century to go 4-1 up. And the overall standard, when you think about it, has been quite good in the last few frames.
49.
From not a very good opening.
Yeah, I think Trump is one of those players, because he's at the top of the game, he's judged to very high standards. But if he were to finish with a century, he would have made 5 in 3 matches here this week, which is good going.
Yeah, it is, and sometimes I think
56.
Clearly he's playing well enough, but I don't think he'll be pleased with his overall form. His long game isn't
57.
firing on all cylinders, but he's still in the event by the looks of things. I can't think he's going to lose this frame from here, and sets up a very interesting clash with Tepchara tomorrow.
64.
He said himself, Trump, that he often starts slowly, and sometimes, of course, that means he gets beat early on. But it's
65.
true that he gets deep into an event, and his record speaks for itself this season. He's very hard to beat. He does tend to turn it on when it matters. So that's the danger for the other players in this event. It'll be an entertaining match for sure
72.
against Tepchara tomorrow.
73.
Well, he thought he'd try and get the other red into play. He mightn't have played that shot necessarily. Cue ball around the angles. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, hasn't finished with a century, but
Trump.
he has finished.
Frame.
That winning break of 73, a rather rueful look on Matt Selt's face. It's Judd Trump who advances to the last 16 here in Berlin. A nice ovation from the audience. They'll be seeing him again tomorrow against Tepchara. One not to be missed. Judd Trump, the twice German Master champion, has progressed to the last 16, a winner by 5 frames to 2.